may seem strange to some of you that I have decided to become a member of your fellowship. Especially if you've grown up in a more dogmatic or religious congregation. Because in top-down religious congregations, the minister holds himself separate. The priest holds himself separate because they get their information from someone above them telling them what to do. But our congregationalist polity requires little or no distinction between the clergy and staff and the congregation, encouraging us to walk hand in hand to do the good work in the world. The beauty of congregational polity is that it centers on profound equity and equality. And as your minister, I do not stand above you, even though I stand in this pulpit each week. But always with you. In fact, even the president and vice president of the governing board are elected by members of this congregation, this fellowship, and are not above this fellowship. They walk beside them. They have to think about what you want. They serve, all the leadership serves as part of this membership. I've lost my place. To serve in leadership in this fellowship, you need to first sign the membership book. And that's in part because it's a way to set forth by our founders to show that you're committed to this bottom-up kind of grassroots governance, the congregational policy that makes this fellowship what it is. As the UU minister from Provincetown, Kate Wilkinson, pointed out just yesterday, the 1648 Cambridge platform made the people in the pews the saints. And that's what formed our congregational polity. And it was born out of a radical desire to strip away religious hierarchies and place the authority directly in the hands of the people in the pews, the people who had the most skin in the game. Rooted in the radical Reformation and fiercely championed by 17th century separatists, Puritans fleeing spiritual tyranny, this model completely inverted the traditional pyramid of power by asserting that every local congregation is entirely autonomous and self-governing, and bound together not by the decrees of bishops or synods, but by free mutual covenant. It is transformed by ordinary neighbors who then become architects of their own spiritual communities. This bold experiment in collective trust didn't stop at the church doors either. The practice of meeting and debating and voting on community matters laid the structural philosophical groundwork for the classic New England town meeting and early American democratic ideals, proving that the community trusted to govern itself can ignite a quiet revolution that echoes far beyond a sanctuary. Something we might need now. While your vote last spring and the installation honored the leadership role you've chosen for me to fulfill, my choice to become your member as well stems from a deep desire to be fully woven into the shared life of collective labor that this fellowship exhibits. To me, membership is a sacred promise to invest all my time and my energy and my treasure and my heart here to walk beside you through every path we collectively forge. Just to be clear, signing the membership and joining this fellowship does not mean you can't fire me. If I do not live up to the covenant that we have agreed to, you can fire me. If I come to church drunk, you can fire me. It also does not mean I will never recuse myself from a congregational vote, because there'll be times when that's appropriate, or stay ex officio on the committees I'm bound to by our bylaws. My role as minister will never be a hindrance to the grassroots polity that we hold dear. At its best, I believe a Unitarian Universalist serves three basic functions that help us move from being a simple gathering of individuals into a beloved community. And it may behoove you to consider this if you are remaining a friend and see no reason to sign the membership book. First, and we do care about our friends, I just want to be clear. But we are one member short from the goal we set for ourselves this year. So if you're a friend and you want to sign, the book's in my office. Our first role as a community is to be a caring community that walks together through all of life's ups and downs. And in a world that is increasingly isolated and divided, finding communities of care that get to know us is more important than ever. We do care about our friends too, though. I hope to bring a certain skill to pastoral care, but I by no means am the only caregiver in this fellowship, nor could I ever meet the needs of our now 169 member fellowship. I couldn't do it by myself. We need the lay ministry team, the caring committee, the groups that meet, the red cups for visitors, as well as the countless quiet check-ins that happen between members, the drives, the rides that get people to church. All of this makes us a living, breathing community. In fact, this is the very first way we get to know each other, by showing up, by witnessing life's ups and downs, and working through conflicts over time, and never letting our conflicts divide us. It mirrors the pledge I made yesterday in our installation service to sit with you in quiet rooms of illness, stand with you in joy and new beginnings, and hold a steady light through all of life's ups and downs, promising to help and offer my heart that doesn't ever turn away. But we all do that for each other. This is what a minister does and what every member is called to do as well. This is the explicit intention by all of us to show up with care, compassion, and unconditional positive regard that helps us to deeply know each other. In his book, How to Know a Person, David Brooks speaks directly to this kind of mechanics that makes a community. He names the most important things we're to do to get to know a person. Disagree without poisoning the relationship. Not an easy thing to do, but is possible. Be a good listener. In fact, be a good listener more than you're a good talker. So I'll just sit and listen now, sorry. Know how to end a conversation gracefully. Know how to ask for forgiveness. Know how to let someone down without breaking their heart. Know how to sit with someone who's suffering. Know how to host a gathering where everyone feels embraced. You did that yesterday. You did it. knowing how to see things from another person's point of view. When we talk about being a caring community, this is the practical knowledge we are all striving to cultivate. Me too. It is not an abstraction. It is the hard, beautiful work of mastering those minute interactions of daily life so that everyone is seen. Not just you make them feel like they're seen, but you actually see them. You really strive to understand. To be honest, I don't always succeed at this. Neither do I expect you to. As a people who gather at each week, we are always striving to be more expansive and caring toward each other and every new person. And that is what makes all the difference. The striving, the trying. By signing the membership book, I am simply setting an intention to walk with this fellowship to be an increasingly caring, compassionate witness in the world. Second, we are a learning community. Yesterday, I promised to preach sermons that will speak truths that comfort the broken and stir the complacent. But a sermon is only one vehicle for learning. I am far from your only teacher. This entire installation experience has been a profound teacher for all of us. Some of you may have wondered why I wanted to do so much on this particular weekend. You might have looked at the schedule and thought, a party with dancing, children's activities, a picnic before the installation, and then a reception after. You did a puppet show and a coloring book? 18 ministers? Too much. I hope that by articulating how we plan to grow as a community through our actions yesterday, we would remind ourselves and show our neighbors exactly what a vibrant fellowship you really are. Teaching and learning come in so many different forms here. Through our lifelong learning classes, our book groups, our fellowship circles, and every collaborative adventure we share in. We are learning how to be human together and pushing us to keep articulating our love and our care for this weary world in so many different ways. And it's not just mine, it's all of our job. I could not have pulled off this weekend without all of you. It would have been impossible. And in fact, if you look at this picture behind me, a lot of people have been asking me what it is. These are all the churches that I was a member of. The first one at the top is the first church UU church I ever went to. It's First Parish in Portland, Maine. In the top middle is the first, where I was an intern in First Unitarian Universalist Society of San Francisco. Over here to the right is King's Chapel in Boston, where I was the assistant minister, and then Dedham, where I was the minister for 18 years. And at the top, the crowning glory, is UU Falmouth. I did not paint this. This is a friend of mine. And again, it takes more than just one person to make things happen. This is a friend of mine who lives in Landrum, South Carolina. His name's David Cedrone. And I hope you'll check out his website. He's very talented. He's one of my favorite artists. But I think it's important to remember that all of these people represented are a dream and their reality. They're us. It's what we want to be, and it's what we are. It's how we're growing and being and becoming. Because our final thing is that our covenant calls us to be searchers for the truth. I promise to walk these halls of Cape Cod with searchers of the truth and dwell together in peace on our collective journey. Recognizing that no one travels alone. We see this search for truth alive in our interfaith ice cream socials, the Martin Luther King breakfasts, our collective work to protect our planet, and the classes that Lou Stern is offering right now on Wednesdays. There's a couple more on sustainability. Our efforts to clean up our local streets, and the way we stand together on street corners, speaking our truths. The reason it's right and necessary for me to be a member beside you in this shared search for justice is that justice is only possible if I listen more than I speak. The work we do must be a collaboration with our neighbors, and neighbors we haven't met yet, and neighbors we haven't even imagined yet, expanding our circle until we are actively considering the well-being of every living thing. To do that, we have to cultivate a specific posture toward the world. We have to look at our neighbor with deep, consuming curiosity. Just as Mary Oliver captured beautifully in her poem, to do this, I have to live my life as if I wonder more about your life than my own. I have to remember that your life actually is more interesting than my own, because I would just live my life every day, right? Your soul is infinitely curious to me. Like, who's on the other end of that phone? Imagine what happens when we take that poem and our curiosity into the streets. Imagine a justice movement, a fellowship, a society where we wonder about the soul of the person across from us more than we wonder about our own comfort. Where our souls are actively clapping their hands for others. That is the ultimate gift of attention. Yesterday, you formally installed me as your minister, and I feel incredibly lucky to have found you. And deeply, deeply grateful that you found me. And today, I am very proud to call this fellowship my home. With all of the divisiveness in this nation, we all need a place where we can practice concrete social actions that heal isolation and honor the inherent worth and dignity of every person. So if you haven't already joined as a member, I shamelessly hope you will consider signing the membership book today and joining this effort to make the world a better place by our collective care and compassion. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for choosing me as your minister. And today, as your leader and fellow member, I pledge my support to keep this congregation the vibrant, active, transformative fellowship it has always been, and to walk with you every step of the way into the future, or at least the near future. May it be so.
Good morning, loved ones. A couple weeks ago, when I started writing the poem for yesterday's installation, I had a conversation with Raleigh, and I was asking her questions, and she said, do not make it about me, because the focus is going to be on me already. And so I was like, hubbada, hubbada, hubbada. What am I going to write about? So I wrote about the congregation and how I made it here. Anyway, that all changes today. And I'm writing not exactly so much as her being a leader, but as being a treasured friend. And so this is called Heartbeat. She of the billion-watt smile, fearless marcher in Minnesota, generous with her time and talents, compassionate, passionate, humble, magical teller of stories and jokes, laughing with the kind of great gusts that invite us to choose joy, even when we're wallowing in the well of sorrows. She is forever on the side of love, encouraging us to communicate, calling us to connect, persuading us to problem solve. And let us not forget, when invited to settle here, she was voted in, chosen by 100% of the congregation. When does that ever happen? Okay, Raleigh, this makes me think of the dance you did. If Raleigh were a dog, she would be the unconditional love of a golden retriever. If she were the sky, every morning she would blaze into dawn, acknowledging the darkness, even as she banishes it with hope. If I could, I would turn her verdant green of her robes into a magic carpet, blooming with butterflies to lift her as she lifts us. I know what a good listener Raleigh is. Her hugs and her words have at times saved my life. So how can I keep from singing her name? Raleigh Angel, how we love you. Everybody, Raleigh Angel, how we love you. Thank you, darling.
And now may the light that has been given each of you to shine like the sun. And when you feel like a rain cloud, always remember you have a friend here at UU Falmouth. Amen.